So, I know this is an unusual starting place, but let's just say it's been a struggle to try and see if I can get a decent game slash matchup whenever I queue in as Rehgar for this video. It's been a bit of a struggle, and the first one that I made about Rehgar, we got stopped. It was against a 5-man group, and there was a bit of toxicity with my team, and you know, at first I actually considered uploading that, but I then thought that should not be the case. So I kept queuing and was hoping to find a good game, and I'm hoping this will be it. So let me start off by going with this. All right. So. Oh, hold on. Nah, never mind. Alright, okay. Alright, so Rehgar is a healer that has been kind of one of the first to really help embrace this mentality of let's, be aggressive. We don't have to just be in the back line, to be healers. We can be able to actually... Oh my goodness, I was so... Oh, well, we did get the Chen. I was trying so hard to keep him away from our Johanna, but unfortunately that didn't work. Rehgar historically has been known as one of those supports that embraces the aggressive mentality compared to other healers, that you would be in the back line and just heal. And Blizzard wanted him to be a healer where he would be aggressive, he would be on the front lines, ready to help fight. Oh my goodness. This could be a bit of a struggle because, of course, if we don't take out that morale, it's just, it's going to be a struggle for us to be able to actually take out, like, Varian and Chen there. Because they have so much sustainability because of this matchup. And Rehgar, of course, one of my big problems with Rehgar in the past has been his struggles in the case of things such as his mana bar. He seems to run out of it very fast. Plus, it seems like how much his mana costs are doesn't really reflect how much healing output he can get. His Q, Chain Heal, is his main source of healing, which bounces to multiple teammates, but it doesn't really seem to do that much healing. Now, I do find it interesting that we did get matched up with a Thrall, because there was a point in time where part of the meta, oh, they have a Twin Blades variant, involved, oh my goodness. Ah! I did that way too late. Can I keep myself alive? Did that to Thrall to try and scare them off a bit. But you can see my struggle with Rehgar. I dive in like he's supposed to, and then all of a sudden I start to lose a ton of health. Now, there was a point in time where Rehgar was on top of the world when it came to supports. He was, without question, the best support in the game. Now, this partly involved one of his ults, Ancestral Healing, being able to be used on himself. And that was something that a lot of players, including Palytime, absolutely loved about Rehgar. This idea that he could be so aggressive in his play that he could be able to dive in, help the front line, be able to heal himself if he needed to. Come back, Junkrat! I'm right here! I'm right here, ready to help you, ready to heal you! I have all these heals for you, come on, man! Alright. Maybe I should head up to mid. Oh, never mind, they got the Chen without my help, but the minions are interfering! scaring him off. Nice, we got the morales. But look at this, the heroic minions. Yes, we got it. Alright, very nice. So, because of this, he was able to usually be able to stay in fights a lot longer because he could be able to do that. However, this was something that I never really gravitated towards, partly because it seemed like it often opened up opportunities for mistakes to be made, such as misclicking your ult and using it on yourself when you were not the one who needed the healing. This is even something I witnessed. Oh my goodness, there was nothing I could do to save our Johanna there. I don't have my ancestral yet, and I'm completely out of mana. As I said, Rehgar has a tendency to run out of mana very fast. Also, an important change that happened to Rehgar in a very recent patch, the patch that nerfed pretty much almost every support in the game, was they took away a talent he used to have at level 1, where if you casted your W, your lightning shield, on an ally, it would also cast it on yourself, which meant you had a lot more wave clear as a Rehgar. It allowed him to be one of those kinds of supports that could actually be good at clearing up a lane and getting XP, be even a solo laner if you need him to be. But they thought that was a little too good. That's not exactly what they intended for him. So, hold on. I don't want to have to use my Ancestral right here. See, also the tricky thing about using Ancestral with Rehgar that I didn't really like was that it has to take a whole second delay to proc, so you have to, like, wait till their health is almost gone to use it. But if you do wait too long, they'll die before it even, kicks in. Which is why I usually tended to like gravitating towards his other ults, known as Bloodlust. And funny, I think I may have mentioned this before. When I went to BlizzCon a couple years ago, I brought up, I was just talking with one of the devs in the line on the show floor for Heroes, and I said, it's a shame that it feels like certain heroes like Rehgar have only one ult, and no one ever wants you to use the other ult, even if you're someone who likes the other ults, like Bloodlust. Are you guys going to be doing anything to try and see if you can balance that out? And he was like, oh no, trust me, it's something that we're constantly discussing and looking at. Hello. Oh my gosh, Genji. Way too ham there, dude. Way too ham. They put the totem in front to give her a bit of healing. Oh my gosh, let me give her a cleanse, even though she has her own. Oh my gosh, they are focusing so hard on our Johanna. I have no mana to put my totem down. As I said,
Way back soon.
Man, that Junkrat mine killed me, because it sent Phoenix closer to me, allowing him to get that one last attack to kill me. But you see what I mean? I ran out of mana so fast with Rehgar. With characters like Lily, I never have to worry about that kind of issue. Unfortunately, Rehgar is not in a good spot right now. There was a time where he was definitely the best support to play in the game. That is not the case anymore. They have nerfed him so hard. Like, no one... I mean, you do still occasionally see Rehgar picked in pro play, but whenever I do, when knowing the other healers are in the game right now, I think to myself, why would you pick Rehgar when you could pick someone else that it has better healing output right now? Someone like Lily or even Malfurion. There we go. There we go. Let's get... There we go. Got that lightning shield to get that Morales as well as the Chen. Very nice. There's a couple different ways you can go here at level 13. Earth Shield is pretty good because you're not only providing shields, you're not only providing healing, but you're also providing shields for your team. Let me get in here, help out our Genji. He's gonna be like, I need healing. as all Genjis do. I need healing. Oh my gosh. Now see, that's another thing. I have to aim my heal onto Genji there. With Bloodlust, you don't have to worry about that. And there we go. Now, of course, because I can't Ancestral myself, I couldn't save myself there. But we did get the Dragonite, so I suppose perhaps it was worth. But I've always made a case, you know, about Bloodlust because, yes, that is a lot of healing for Ancestral. It does a ton of healing. I'm not denying that. But it does healing for one single target, and it has a 100-second cooldown. Bloodlust, it activates instantly. There's no 1 second delay that you have to wait for it to, you know, to start working. It just activates instantly. It gives attack speed, movement speed, and healing on basic attacks. So if you have a basic attack comp, Bloodlust is fantastic. If you have an Illidan or a Vala, someone that benefits a lot from basic attacks, then you are going to be in great shape against... Bad mistake there, Phoenix. Did you really not know I was there? Dude. Genji, you're being way too ham, dude. Come on. Here we go. We stopped the Morales from dying. Woo! Man, this Genji is so ham. He is stressing me out right now. Ugh. Alright. We are gonna go with Rising Storm, where every time it damages an enemy, it increases its damage. And it stacks to 20 times. So if I put this on the right enemy that dives in, like Johanna or Genji, it's gonna do insane amounts of damage. Oh, look out! That Phoenix is being so aggressive, but oh man. Woo. Alright, hold on. I gotta heal for you, Johanna. It's alright. It's alright. I think I used my cleanse on her by accident because I think I clicked on it right here. Oh no. I can even put this on my totem right there, so it can just sit there and just rack up some damage. And we got the Chen right there. We got the Morales. There we go. There we go. Unfortunately, I am now getting hit by the Keep. Put that on our Thrall so we can finish off the Keep. I am so we have to go. Run, 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 run. And unfortunately, our Genji stayed a little too long and got killed. I gotta get out of here. By the way, love this new skin. Love this animation. Just so great. I love the skins that came out with that anime short that looked like a Gundam with Mechaterial. Mech Rehgar. Oh, so great. Such a great skin. But you can see what I'm talking about in terms of the low healing output. Now, there are ways to counter this, to fix it, but there's really not that many ways to fix his mana problem. So yeah, you can be able to reduce the cooldowns to make it where you can use your Q more often, but then that still leaves the problem of running out of mana. Now, there are a couple talents that can help with this, such as, oh, hold on, I have to stay on here, clear this up so no one gets the dragon. Alright, I think I can now go help our Thrall. Alright, let's see. Looks like Thrall's gonna get it. Junkrat's gonna scare them off. There we go, we got it. Alright. We are doing pretty good. This is going much better than the first time I tried this. This is what I was hoping for, like a decent game here. This is going pretty well, I think. Did the Morales really go down there to get our... This silly. I cannot believe what I just saw with this Morales player. That is too funny. Oh my goodness. Oh, is Johanna gonna get the Chen? I do have my Ancestral ready to go for either of these. I just have to make sure I pay attention to their health bar so I can know who to use it on and when. There we go. And GG. Woo! Now, we just at level 20 didn't get to choose my level 20 talent. I probably would have taken Storm Shield, but this is a good case scenario for Rehgar because he does match up well with a comp like this. There was a period of time when Bloodlust and Earthquake from Thrall got buffed where that was the meta. You had Rehgar and Thrall, Bloodlust and Earthquake, and it just annihilated enemy teams. It was so dominant. I mean, that's decent healing output, but, you know, compared to other healers right now, it's just not nearly as good. I'm going to give it to our Thrall here, because he did work. I mean, of course, he did. A lot of that is reflective of him being in the Dragon Knight. But I guess now I can try and talk a bit now that I got through the game. Oh, my goodness. But Rehgar just... I just find it difficult to gravitate towards him in his playstyle, especially right now, because right now he just does not seem to be in a good spot, even though he does still seem to make it at times into pro play. But, I mean, alright, so the talents I went with, this is a pretty strong healing, support build for Rehgar these days, is Electric Charge, Healing Totem, Cleanse, Ancestral Healing, Earth Shield, Rising Storm, and I probably would have gone with Storm Shield at level 20. I mean, Farseer's Blessing, I mean, you know, it does really, you know, but this is, like, ideal if you have, like, an Azmodan or even a Cho'Gall. Oh my gosh, like, a Cho'Gall can benefit so much from this. But Storm Shield, it can be great for just that little quick burst of shield to the rest of your team in a big team fight, can really help out. You know, I've always been a huge fan of Bloodlust, and anytime I can be able to just be able to use Bloodlust, I love it, but that's only because I've always felt I can sometimes get more value from it in terms of actually getting it to click, whereas Ancestral, I've seen it where someone will try and put it on their teammate and then their teammate dies before it that delay goes off. I've seen there are videos out there, if you look them up on YouTube, of funny moments in HOTS or Heroes of the Storm, WTF moments in Heroes of the Storm, where Rehgar, with very little, almost full health, just barely a little bit of health missing, standing next to a teammate who has hardly any health left. He's going to use Ancestral on that teammate to save him, and he misclicks on himself, and it heals him, and his teammate dies. And that, I think that was one of the reasons why they made it where it cannot be used on Rehgar anymore, because they wanted to take away that possibility of a misclick and essentially ruining using your ult. And sometimes I've seen it with bugs where I will see the Ancestral hit a teammate and then all of a sudden he gets no health back, and then it goes on full cooldown, and I'll be like, what happened to the Ancestral? And it just it got bugged and it didn't click. So sometimes there seems to still be bugs with Ancestral, with it not seemingly working. So, like I said, there was a level 1 talent here where you could get double lightning shields, which added to the wave clear. There was a point in time where Rehgar was fun to play. I struggled with his playstyle because I wasn't really at a point where I liked aggressive healers. If you look at the supports in the game, I was usually more into playing Malfurion, Lily, Uther, who had that, the Uther, of course, he can be, a little bit more upfront, but, the healers stay back and they just focus on healing their teammates, whereas Rehgar was all about dive into the front line and help, fight them off, and it was just a playstyle I kind of struggled with until recently, where now I do enjoy playing, more aggressive healers like Karazim, who I think is in a much better spot these days than Rehgar is, unfortunately. Because when you see look at the supports in the game today, especially after the patch that nerfed almost every support in the game, Rehgar was one of those who got hit pretty bad, losing that wave clear. But I mean, like Lily, Uther, Karazim, Brightwing. I've been playing more Ariel recently. I've been really liking her. Stukov, Lucio. I know, I've seen some really great Ana players out there. But like all those healers I just listed off, I think right now are in a better spot in the game. Even now Xtraza to an extent, but not by much, than Rehgar is right now. He just feels like he has too high of a mana cost with his abilities. He runs out of mana way too fast. He doesn't have nearly as strong of a healing output as other healers in the game. I can tell you times where I've gotten 100,000 healing with healers like Malfurion and Lily, but it's very difficult for me to get those kinds of healing numbers from Rehgar, because it just seems like I can never be able to get that kind of healing output from him. Yes, there are ways to reduce his mana costs with this, but then you lose the healing from Healing Totem, which is another healing ability that you have to have that AoE heal, which can be crucial at times for you and your team. You can be able to increase your health and mana regen if you can go for a Ghost Wolf form if you want, to reduce your basic abilities. You can go with Hunger of the Wolf to be able to make it where it's kind of like a giant killer, but it also heals yourself, which is a cool thing that they actually added into his base kit, where it used to be a talent you would choose at 13 or 16, and then they just added to his base kit where he would lunge at the enemy and be able to do that kind of attack, which at times you saw, I think against the Morales, I pulled off. I'll have to go back and watch, but that you can be able to try and do a finishing kill move there, which can be great. You can be able to also increase the slow of your totem here, which right now benefits really well if you have a Phoenix on your team, as I had, because Phoenix's Plasma Cutter does more damage against slowed enemies. So if you are able to really land your totems, you can get a lot more damage for your Phoenix teammate. You can reduce, like I said, the cooldown here with Tidal Waves. You could, if your teammates are low on health, this will do more healing. So there are ways to do it, but as I said, it still doesn't feel like it's enough. I feel like Rehgar has been nerfed so much that right now he is just not in a spot where I would want to pick him with all these other healers that I feel like I can get better results from. I don't want to hate or bash on Rehgar. I want him to be good, like he used to be. But right now it just feels like he was so strong that they've nerfed him so hard for other healers to get a better spot or better, I guess visibility, I could say. And I hope Rehgar gets buffed in the near future, or he gets changed. I feel like perhaps Rehgar may be in need of a rework, because really a lot of his abilities have been kind of the same for a long time. And I think perhaps Rehgar is going to be added to that list of characters that we feel needs a rework to get him into a better spot in this game. So I feel that was a better outcome than the previous video I made for Rehgar. Oh my gosh, that one was awful. This one was much better. So if you hear me reference a slaughter against a 5-man group in the next video featuring Rexar, that is gonna be what it was referring to instead of what actually ended up going live. But as I said, in the next video we're gonna be taking a look at Rexar, a character that for a long time I joked was a specialist instead of a warrior. He was one of the most broken, and I don't mean in terms of overpowered, I mean in terms of not really functioning characters I've ever seen enter the game, because he could not control Misha. It was a nightmare when he first came out. But I will go into a bit more into that when we come back. Stay tuned.